Hey there everyone, welcome to the Tamriko Lifestyle channel where I talk about loving yourself and the world turns you through veganism. I haven't eaten meat for 8 years and I've been completely vegan for over 3 years, so I'm sharing my knowledge and experience with you. Going vegan is a serious decision that more and more people worldwide are making. Despite its growing popularity, society still has misconceptions and myths about plant-based nutrition. The internet is full of memes depicting vegans as aggressive, angry, and eating tasteless grass. It is often enough to say that you do not eat meat and immediately get a violent reaction from the interlocutor or even provoke an emotional conflict. This is quite logical. After all, most people are especially concerned about their own eating habits as well as the welfare of animals. Unfortunately, all this is provoked by myths and a lack of knowledge about our nutrition. Do you agree with me? Support my work specifically for English language YouTube with your like, subscription and comments, so you will greatly help the channel. Thank you. Veganism is often misconstrued as a celebrity fad or diet, and is sometimes seen simply as an environmental movement. We see a lot of misinformation and poorly researched content online. But how to understand where is the truth and where is the fake? Today I will try to debunk many myths, and I hope that after my video you will be more confident in your choice. Since the beginning of the appearance of vegetarianism as an official term, more than 100 studies have been published on the influence of plant-based nutrition on human health, but neither in the medical, environmental nor among ordinary people has a clear opinion emerged. The number of people adopting a vegan diet and lifestyle is growing exponentially in the UK and around the world. As of 2020, there are approximately 78 million vegans worldwide, approximately 600,000 of whom are in the UK. Veganism is often misunderstood as another word for vegetarianism, but while vegetarianism is a way of eating, veganism is the practice of avoiding the consumption of any animal products, including but not limited to diet. See the difference? For a new vegan or someone who is considering going vegan, it can seem like a daunting task to read the ingredients of food and cosmetics or ask about the fabric of clothing when shopping. But gradually, these initiatives turn into new habits and make it possible to make quick choices. Let's try to understand the main myths about vegetarianism and veganism. For some, reminding themselves of the suffering of animals meant for human consumption can ease their way. If you are thinking about switching to a plant-based diet or already are, here are 5 of the most common myths about veganism that you need to stop believing. Myth number 1. You don't get enough protein when you are vegan. Protein is a nutrient that acts as a building block in our body, keeping us full longer, giving us energy, and helping to build muscle. Protein calories account for approximately 15 to 20% of energy intake, making them the most important part of our diet. A common misinformation that people readily believe is that everyone gets their protein only from animal products. This is a long debunked myth. A person always needs 20 different types of amino acids for the normal functioning of the body without problems. They are indispensable, those that the body itself does not produce. The source of amino acids in this group is food, so the diet should contain numerous products containing protein. There are 8 types of them: phenylalanine, lysine, threonine, methionine, valine, leucine, tryptophan, and isoleucine. There is also histidine, but this amino acid is indispensable only in children. With age, the body begins to synthesize it on its own. Therefore, it is often also called conditionally irreplaceable. Substitute amino acids are synthesized by the body on their own or absorbed from food. There are 11 types of them: alanine, adenine, asparagine, glutamate, glutamine, carnitine, glycine, onosine, proline, serine, and taurine. I will immediately give just one example: soy. Of the essential amino acids, it lacks only methionine. Also, for example, 3 amino acids are especially important for athletes: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. All 3 of these amino acids can be found in plant foods. A large amount of leucine is found in durum wheat grains, isoleucine in soybeans and some nuts, valine in legumes, spinach, and broccoli. Plant foods are rich in fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, while animal foods are often high in saturated fat, which is recommended to be limited in the diet. Therefore, products with vegetable protein pay special attention to supporters of a healthy lifestyle, be it athletes who build muscle mass or people who monitor weight, cholesterol level, and health in general. A large-scale study involving more than 617,000 people aged 15 to 71 found that consuming plant-based protein reduces the risk of cardiovascular disease and stroke. Vegans get complete plant-based protein from oats, quinoa, beans, spinach, tofu, lentils, broccoli, nuts, seeds, and more. In fact, a healthy adult needs about 1 gram of protein for every kilogram of body weight, which is quite easy to get through a balanced plant-based diet. For example, a generous serving of cooking buckwheat with tofu and broccoli can easily provide half of the daily protein requirement for a 60-kilogram woman. By the way, the animals that are consumed to obtain this so-called protein are fed with the above plant protein food. So you are basically consuming the same plant protein but through the dead tissue of an animal product. Myth number 2. Vegans have a limited and monotonous menu. For most people, it may seem restrictive to give up all animal products, including meat, cheese, eggs, and fish. But the first thing to understand is that you like this or that product simply because of its taste. You don't eat raw meat. You eat 80% of the time processed food with spices, sweeteners, etc. Instead of focusing on what you can't eat, focus on what you can't eat, namely that varieties that veganism has to offer. Absolutely all dishes in the modern world can be replaced with an alternative, starting from meat steak and ending with the function of eggs and baked goods. In fact, this type of eating can open your mind and heart to many other food options and possibilities, which may include trying new flavors, spices, and cooking methods. For example, I discovered such a product as green buckwheat. You will be shocked, but it can completely replace cottage cheese in terms of taste. I make pancakes, muffins, and cottage cheese now only from green buckwheat, and I gave only one example. Myth number 3. Veganism has no health benefits. The key concepts of a plant-based diet are balanced and diverse. For example, a diet based only on fruits is technically vegan, but it's not optimal and will likely lead to nutrient deficiencies and health problems. However, a diet with a sufficient number of calories and various groups of plant products does not require additional multivitamin complexes. The only thing that all supporters of plant-based nutrition needs to take additionally is vitamin B12, which I will talk about in a separate video. Also, I will reveal a secret. Many carnivores also have this deficiency. Vegetarianism and other plant-based diets are known to reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and heart disease. A vegan diet can further help you maintain a healthy weight, lower blood sugar, reduce arthritis pain, and lower cholesterol. Moreover, vegan food excluded animal products, which are the provocateur of many diseases and inflammatory process. So, just take care of what you put in your body, and your body will take care of you. Whether there is a deficiency of nutrients and the health problems caused by it depends entirely on a person's awareness of basic nutrition and a responsible attitude to their nutrition. I hope that the myth is dispelled. Separately, I will definitely tell about cases of healing people only on plant-based foods. Myth number 4. Being vegan is very expensive. Yes, repackaged food can sometimes seem a bit pricey, vegan or not. But when you consider that vegans don't eat meat, one of the most expensive grocery items, you can see savings by not having it on your list. A plant-based diet, like any other, can be different and depend entirely on individual taste. Indeed, vegan alternatives to meat and dairy products can be expensive, especially imported or new to the market, as demand for them is not yet high. However, these products are not a necessity because the basic vegan diet is based on whole and inexpensive products, seasonal fruits and vegetables, local nuts and seeds, and inexpensive legumes and cereals. Expensive substitutes can be a great way to experiment and try something new, surprise loved ones, or make a plant-based version of childhood favorites, but you should not base your diet on them given the lower nutritional value and highest price. The fact that more and more similar products have appeared in stores in recent years is pleasing. Tofu, vegetable milk, meatless sausages, and vegan sweets are gradually filling the shelves with supermarkets, which significantly reduces their price and makes veganism accessible to many. Myth number 5. Veganism is a fad and it will soon pass. Friends, veganism is a way of life. It's about not doing anything that leads to cruelty or harm to the environment. The first thing I want to say to all those who support this myth: remember, veganism is the future. You simply cannot imagine how the world has changed in the direction of veganism in the last couple of years, and what will happen in 10 years. Personally, even 3 years ago, I could not find a single ordinary cafe that would add vegan items to the menu. What's now? Now there is a boom in vegan establishment in the world. A single fashion trend cannot cover all walks of life at different stages of life, but vegans are different people, have different educations and professions, and come from different walks of life. For example, at European festivals among vegans, you can see punks and reggae, music lovers, those who have created families and become parents, bodybuilders, and average fashionistas. There is no place for stereotypes here. Also, don't forget that many prominent personalities of the past refused animal products when such a term had not even been heard before. So, was this also a fad? I understand that changing your lifestyle and getting used to something new can be difficult. But there are tons of resources to start your plant-based lifestyle. And the more you learn about veganism, the easier it is to navigate and keep moving forward. Moreover, the consumption of animal products also costs human lives. Factory farming conditions are highly prone to viral outbreaks and also contribute to the emergence of antibiotic-resistant bacteria as animals raised in these industries are routinely fed antibiotics. The 2021 UN Food Systems Summit calls for healthier, more sustainable and fair food systems, and it is imperative to consider these dangers of livestock farming as we plan for the future as the world continues to grapple with the pandemic. So, we live in a society that revolves around non-vegan food. You see your friends, family and colleagues eating it every day. Has the meat eater even been distressed when someone mentioned that their lunch today was a tuna sandwich? That they can't eat cake in the cafeteria today because they are on a diet? No, but if someone mentions that they can't get a piece of birthday cake because it's not vegan, it's immediately picked up and ridiculed. Especially my favorite is when they say that a vegan always talks only about his diet. But in reality, these pretensions of people can only lead to defensive behavior when some meat eaters accuse us of trying to impose their diet on others. This effectively puts the onus on vegans to be timid or introverted when discussing their choices not to preach. Sad face is to say that if a large group of the population is against something, then conditions are created for myths and health truths. Millions of people have already switched to a vegan diet, and one of the most common phrases we hear is, "It's really not as difficult as I thought it would be. I wish I had done it early." And I will not tire of repeating. Billions of intelligent creatures are kept in cages or crates, suffering from lameness, benzos, bones infections and diseases, and then they are taken by trucks for days on end to be slaughtered. Billions of animals never breathe fresh air or walk the earth. They are forcibly inseminated only to then survive the loss of their young when they are taken away. Such deliberately inflicted psychological and physical suffering is unnecessary and unjustifiable. You don't go vegan because meat tastes so bad, but because your heart tells you it's wrong to exploit, torture and kill animals for your own pleasure. And let's 800 million people starve to death while we feed 46 billion farm animals. Being compassionate and aware can never just be a fad. Agree with this? Write your opinion in the comments and share this video. And I'm so happy to have attempted to remove these myths and prejudices from your mind. Because veganism is about love, happiness and well-being for all living things from an insect to bison. It is an ideology to bring people closer to their instincts. It means bringing us closer to eating what nature has created and grown for us, rather than exploiting animals. Adding soy milk to your coffee, having a toffee omelette for breakfast, or cooking falafel for dinner are simple but effective ways to do better for yourself and the world. Veganism may not be perfect, but it is certainly the best way to protect animals and our planet. Just listen to your heart, let go of old habits and let new ones emerge. I value life and do not want to hurt or kill other living beings. This is why I eat like this. That's why I think so. And that's why I record these confessional lectures from my community. I hope my videos were able to inspire you and melt your heart. Thanks for joining me. Till next time!